Hello there. Hola, ¿cómo estás? Mi nombre es Timoteo. Good morning. I'm the Reverend Tim Cutsmark, and I serve gratefully as minister of the Unitarian Universalist Church in Fresno, California. Yay! So today is a service we're calling It's Been a Year. It is the first anniversary of the pandemic. And take a moment and just celebrate the gift that you are alive. You're here. You can be with us. We can be together today because there are so many people who are not alive, who were alive a year ago. So many lives lost. We will remember all. So if you are interested, Karen and Troy are our worship associates today, so they'll also be helping guide us through the service. And in a few minutes, they're going to light their chalice to start off the service, but they don't want to light their chalice all by themselves. So an invitation for you to get a chalice or even just a candle so that you'll be able to participate in that ritual in just a few minutes. Until then, we have our countdown, our 1-minute countdown, just like Times Square and New Year's Eve. And then we're going to see you back real soon. Bye-bye.
Hola, buenos dias. Mi nombre es Lisa. Good morning. I'm Lisa Lindsay, and I serve gratefully as president of the Board of Trustees. Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Church of Fresno in California. Can you believe it has been a year since we transformed our in-person church community into a virtual community of connection and hope? So much has changed in that time. But our care for each other, the most vulnerable among us, and our planet has never wavered. Unitarian Universalists believe that loving inclusively is a spiritual practice. We welcome you here no matter your race, your culture of origin, your age, your spiritual background, or your religious beliefs. You are welcome if you are lesbian, gay, bi, trans, gender fluid, questioning, or non-binary. We welcome you no matter your disabilities, the amount of money in your bank account, or your level of education. You are welcome with or without documentation. Citizen or non-citizen, you are worthy of respect and you are welcome at the Unitarian Universalist Church of Fresno. Todos son bienvenidos aquí. Please join me as we share our mission statement together. La misión de la Iglesia Unitaria Universalista de Fresno es amar inclusivamente, crecer espiritualmente, servir con gratitud y trabajar por la justicia. The mission of the Unitarian Universalist Church of Fresno is to love inclusively, grow spiritually, serve gratefully, and work for justice. 1 year ago, on March 15th, 2020, we held our first virtual Sunday service. So this was before we knew masks were a necessity, but we had 4 worship participants, Reverend Tim, Danny, Lorenzo, and Chloe. They remained physically distanced, and then they had one techie. So the techie was holding up an iPad. If you can believe, all things were done with one iPad that first service. There was cue cards for Reverend Tim's sermon, and then the order of service was scrawled onto a whiteboard to keep things on track. It's crazy to picture where we've come from there. But as you'll see in a moment, even though things looked and sounded a lot different, the heart behind the sermons, the love and care that comes through in those words, it was there from day one.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Church of Fresno. I'm Reverend Tim, and it is my great pleasure to welcome you this morning into this loving, caring community. Whoever you are, no matter where you are on your journey, you are welcome here. You are welcome.
Spirit of life, come unto me. Sing in my heart all the stirrings of compassion. Oh.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Danny, and today I'd like to tell you a story that comes from the Jewish Kabbalah tradition, and it's their creation story. See, in the beginning, the spirit of life took a deep, deep breath in. And when they did, they created inky, beautiful darkness.
And so for all that we have shared, either on the screen or out loud, and for everything we're holding in the sacred silence of our own hearts, we light our candle of community.
Comfort me, comfort me, comfort me, oh my soul.
I've been thinking a lot about my father this week. My dad was an industrial engineer, and he had this amazing ability to look at a complex and quickly changing situation and assess what he needed to do and how to adapt. He also had this uncanny knack of predicting what kind of flexibility would be called for tomorrow. You know, I think we all have someone from our past or our present who is a good example of who we'd like to have next to us when the world suddenly upends.
There is a love holding you. There is a love holding all that you love. There is a love holding all you rest.
Commit to doing one thing that shows your kindness, that shows your love. Whether it be for someone you know here in the UU community, whether it be someone you know across the country, your neighbor, your friend, your family. That's what's going to sustain us all through these next few weeks.
I hope you guys agree. As you watch that, you can't help but remember being the person who saw it a year ago. I just recall looking at the vulnerable leadership they were offering and the bravery that it was just so evident that we're leaning into this. We're not fighting it. We're figuring this out. We're gonna find a way to build a community, and we're gonna get through this together. And that feeling that I felt as I watched it a year ago is still there. And I just love the community we're building, the community that we're continuing to build. It's a beautiful thing. And I'm so glad that we're all here today. And today, we have a special prelude offered by guest musician Leah Morris. So Leah Morris has sung and played with some of the greatest singers in the country, including Odetta and Mavis Staples. She's considered one of the Washington, D.C. area's best vocalists, songwriters, and recording artists.
Fast falls the eventide, the darkness deepens, still with me abide. When other helpers fail and comforts flee, help of the helpless, oh, abide with me. Swift to its close, ebbs out life's little day. Earth's joys grow dim, its glories pass away. Change and decay in all around I see. O thou who changes not, abide with me. We need each other every passing hour. Channels of grace and life affirming power, faithful companions share this path with me. Through all our fears and hopes, abide with me.
Spirit of love, abide with us, among us, and through us. In a moment, Karen and Troy will be lighting the chalice, but first we have a sound, a sacred sound. Different sounds take us to different places, and the sound of the Tingsha is an invitation to go to that stillness, that silence that awaits within.
Buenos dias.
Good morning.
Welcome to the Polnitz family home. I'm Karen,
I am Troy.
and we're so glad you're here.
And you are here.
You are here. We feel your spirit, your energy, and your love right here.
Right there. We light our chalice this morning for hope
For connection,
and for commitment.
for a commitment to keep the flame burning, even when it seems so hard to do so.
May the light, wherever we may find it, be a reminder that we are not alone.
Hope burns in our hearts.
May our flame be a reminder that we are connected to the world around us and those in it.
Hope lives in the moments of our meeting, whether in person or virtually.
May the gentle grace of sunshine be a reminder that we are dedicated to finding the good.
Hope grows when we seek, nurture, and support.
Please join us in lighting a candle or chalice at your home as we light ours and share in this moment of sacred connection.
Let us now join our voices in singing We Shall Be Known, which has become our congregation's anthem during this time of pandemic.
We shall be known by the company we keep, by the ones who circle round to tend these fires. we shall be known by the ones who sow and reap the seeds of change alive from deep within the earth. It is time now, it is time now that we thrive. It is time we lead ourselves into the well. It is time now, and what a time to be alive. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. We shall be known by the company we keep, by the ones who circle round to tend these fires. We shall be known by the ones who sow and reap the seeds of change alive from deep within the earth. It is time now, it is time now that we thrive. It is time we lead ourselves into the well. It is time now, and what a time to be alive. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love.
Hi, I am Paula Ferris, a member of this year's annual Pledge Drive team. Welcome to the fourth and final week of Fire of Commitment, this year's annual Pledge Drive. As Reverend Tim said, pledging to a church community is different than giving to charity. This church is different from charities and social change organizations. This church is where we come to recharge our weary spirits. This church is the place we come to weep, and the place we come when we need to laugh and sing again. This is the place that invites us to breathe in peace and breathe out love. Whether you are a member, friend, or brand new financial supporter, we ask you to make a pledge of how much you will be able to share with the church over the course of a year. People pledge from $52 a year to multiple tens of thousands a year. This pledge is your financial commitment to the congregation over the course of a fiscal year from July 1st, 2021 to June 30th, 2022. The total of these pledges become the basis on which we finalize our budget. We know what we can spend because you've told us through your pledge. If you need a pledge card or just want more information, please email at pledge@uufresno.org. I am excited to announce that our current pledge total is, a drum roll please, $448,898. This is 75% of our goal. This leaves $150,049 to be raised in the next week. The sooner you make your pledge, the sooner we can wrap up our drive. And as an incentive for you to do that, I have exciting news. This week only, 2 generous benefactors are willing to match dollar for dollar all new pledges, repeat pledges, and increases to your current pledge up to $8,000. Thank you in advance for helping us stoke the fire of commitment.
The first Easter Sunday that I ever attended, I recall that my children were participating in a canned good hunt where they were hunting for canned goods that later the church was going to donate to an organization. The youth is the future of our church, and we have it's such a gift to have such an enlightened and authentic group of young young people, young humans that are going to be leading our church in the future. So it is very important to me that we develop that program, invest in that program, and give it the foundation that it needs so that the future of the church is in good hands. My commitment to the church is inspired by knowing that our unique contributions are a part of a larger ripple effect that touches many across different walks of life. It is important to contribute to the Unitarian Universalist Church of Fresno because the work that is cultivated and created within us in our congregation creates a large and positive impact to the larger community and also in our own personal lives. And it is a place that is very much needed in our world today. So contributing to that space gives it that the sustenance to be able to spread and reach those in the larger community.
When the fire of commitment sets our mind and soul ablaze, when our hunger and our passion beat to call us on our way, when we live with deep assurance of the flame that burns within, then our promise finds fulfillment and our future can begin.
Hola, soy Danny. Howdy, friends. Danny here. We cannot address the 1-year anniversary of the COVID-19 pandemic without also recognizing the silent pandemic that has plagued our country since before its founding. And that is the pandemic of white supremacy. Environmental inequities in communities of color, chronic pre-existing conditions, combined with racial bias in the health systems, poor housing, lack of access to treatment and testing, among other factors, have resulted in higher COVID-19 infection rates around Black and Brown communities, with one Johns Hopkins study stating that Black and Brown bodies make up 70% of those affected by the virus in the United States. Another report stated that Black folks are 3 times more likely to die of the COVID-19 pandemic than white folks. This, combined with the murders of George Floyd, Ahmaud Arbery, Breonna Taylor, and too many other bodies, helped to launch a season of protest, awareness, and racial reckoning. Part of this movement was the campaign to amplify Black voices. The task of giving the mic to underrepresented communities while decentering whiteness can feel overwhelming, much like a lot of the justice work we do. But young activist Marley Diaz has some twofold advice for us. Use your passion to help solve problems in your community and focus on local issues versus trying to deal with larger societal problems. Marley, who at 11 years old began her work of changing the world, is who we lift up and turn to for today's Time for All Ages, because she's an expert in amplifying voices. In 2017, Marley was upset. She was frustrated by the lack of diversity in the books that she was reading at school. She wished she could read something where she could see who she was reflected in the main character. When her mother asked her what she wanted to do to change that, she had an idea, and she launched the hashtag 1000 Black Girl Books Drive. The campaign was immensely successful, and she collected over 11,000 titles, which she then, and working with grassroots, turned into an online resource guide where books can be sorted and searched for by age and reading level. The following year, she added one more book title to the list, this time by writing it. Marley Gets It Done, and So Can You, serves as a guide for children to make a positive change through activism, inclusion, and community involvement. In 2020, in the middle of the COVID-19 pandemic, Marley added another project to her plate to continue her advocacy of amplification. In September, Netflix released Bookmarks, celebrating Black voices. Each episode features a children's book about the Black experience, written by a Black author, read by a Black celebrity. And the series is hosted by, you guessed it, Marley Diaz. Marley's dedication, activism, and advocacy, all by the age of 15, has already changed the lives of millions of people. She reminds us that if we are passionate, open, and willing, change is possible.
I am open and I am willing, for to be hopeless would seem so strange. It dishonors those who go before us, so lift me up to the light of change. There is hurting in my family, there is sorrow in my town, and there is panic all across the nation. There is wailing the whole around, but I am open and I am willing, for to be hopeless would seem so strange. Dishonors those who go before us, so lift me up to the light of change. May the children see more clearly, and may the elders be more wise. May the winds of change caress us, even though they burn our eyes. But I am open and I am willing, for to be hopeless would seem so strange. It dishonors those who go before us, so lift me up to the light of change. Give me a mighty oak to hold my confusion, and give me a desert to hold my fears. Give me a sunset to hold my wonder, and give me an ocean to hold my tears. But I am open and I am willing, for to be hopeless would seem so strange. It dishonors those who go before us, so lift me up to the light of change.
As you are willing, would you join with me in connecting to the power and the potential of our human breath? And together we breathe in peace. Just hold a moment and breathe out love. Breathing in peace, we hold the moment and we breathe out love. One more time together, breathing in peace into every cell of your body. Hold it a moment and breathe out love. As we rest here in this moment, connected to breath and connected to each other through our intention, through our desire to be one, a spiritual community. Let the breath carry you back over the last week, the last 7 days of your being. A week that was a gift, that was a blessing. And we're aware that there are so many who did not receive the gift of this last week because of the pandemic taking their lives. And as we breathe together, a question. In the last week, how did your heart open to hold more? In the week ahead, how could you lift up the light of change? From reflecting to remembering. This is our time of joys and sorrows, gratitudes and concerns. If you have a personal joy, gratitude, concern, or sorrow that you would like to share with us today, please type that in the comment box. If you're talking about someone else, be sure to only use the initial of their last name so you protect their privacy. And as we do think back on this last week, we acknowledge that this was an important week worldwide because it was International Women's Day. So if you would like to celebrate International Women's Day, just type the letter W in the comment box. And as those W's flow, we lift up the names of these, our beloveds who need our prayers, our thoughts, our good wishes, and our positive energy. For all that has been shared, for all that will continue to be shared, and for everything we're holding this morning in the silence and sacredness of our beating human hearts, and for all those who on this day have no one to remember them with kindness, no one to speak their name tenderly, we light this candle of community. By our remembering, may we and they be blessed. We light a second candle, as is our custom, and this candle burns for the over 2.64 million citizens of the world who have lost their lives in the last year to this pandemic.
There is a love holding me. There is a love holding all that I love. There is a love holding all. I rest in this love. There is a love holding you. There is a love holding all that you love. There is a love holding all. You rest in this love. There is a love holding us. There is a love holding all that we love. There is a love holding all. We rest in this love.
For 1 year in this virtual sanctuary, this meditation bowl's ringing sound has guided us each week into a time of silence. Our words of prayer and reflection come from the Reverend Lindy Ramsden. And these were read by church member Gibb at a meeting this week. And as those words left her mouth and as they danced into my ears, I knew that this was the perfect words to use today as we reflect back on this year that has been. Let these words become a meditation for us to hold, perhaps in a different way, the last year. But let them also be something, an invitation perhaps, that we carry into this next year, not knowing how it will unfold. So, will you join with me in the spirit of mindfulness, reflection, or prayer with these words adapted slightly from the Reverend Lindy Ramsden? Let us pray. Dear creation, thank you for life. We will try not to take it for granted. Thank you for love. We will try to hold it lightly so as not to suffocate its soul in our grasping. Thank you for loneliness. We will try to let it be our teacher. Thank you for granite and air and fire and river. We will try to care for Earth's treasures that we may pass them on to the children. Thank you for our failures. They help us step back and remember what matters. Thank you for our successes. We will try not to get attached. Thank you for work. We want to use our time and talents in service of the larger good. Thank you for music. We will try to find our song and sing it. Thank you. Thank you for community, where others can carry the song and remind us of life's melody when we have lost our way. May it be so. Blessed be. Amen.
What a year it has been.
It has been a year.
How are you? Like, really, how are you?
Yeah, I'm doing well. I'm maintaining. How are you?
I'm okay. Yeah, I think I'm okay. And I'm going to be okay. How are all of you?
This year has been hard.
Really hard. I struggled.
I know. I think we all have. In whatever way we faced the mountain this year, it's been a challenge, but we are here.
Yes, we made it. Back to March, back to when it all began, or at least when it all landed on our doorsteps.
Yeah, it's been really interesting to think about the time right before we closed our doors.
There was this nervous energy in the air, like, what's about to happen?
I'm remembering the last church service and not shaking hands, but still kind of laughing it all off.
Yeah. That last day of school and thinking I'd be back to those busy hallways, familiar smiles, and hugs just a few weeks later.
How quickly it all unraveled.
How far we seemed to fall. I think it was around week 2 or 3 that the panic really set in for me. It became what does this all mean? How long will this last? What am I going to do?
So many questions.
And no real answers.
Just this long, curious period of discovery.
Oh, I like that. A period of discovery.
Yeah, I think we've all had to learn a lot about ourselves in order to cope with the sense of isolation, the lack of connection.
The need to find new forms of connection to really keep the flame alive throughout and despite all odds.
And now we're back.
Yeah. There's a similar nervous energy in the air, but it's different now.
Yeah, it's the other side, the what's going to happen.
I feel like collectively, we've learned so much about how to answer that question. A patience.
Yeah, a wondering, but an acceptance.
The ability to just do nothing for a bit and be okay with that. I mean, I'm still working on all of these, but the lessons, they're there.
And they've given us hope.
They're giving us a vision of a new way forward.
Hi everyone, Lorenzo here. Today I'll be introducing a new hymn that's going to be a regular one for us. It's called Blessed Unrest, and it's taken from the chorus section of the song that you'll hear this morning as the anthem after Tim's sermon. We'll be doing the hymn in English and Spanish, and the English words are, "Fill my days with blessed unrest, and my nights with dreams of justice. Make me a vessel for the turning of the tide." And in Spanish, first slowly, Lléname de bendita inquietud y mis sueños de la justicia. Seré un barco para el cambio de la marea. And now up to speed. Lléname de bendita inquietud y mis sueños de la justicia. Seré un barco para el cambio de la marea. You'll have a chance to join in singing the English when we do the full song after Tim's sermon. But right now, Let's sing the hymn together. Fill my days with blessed unrest, and my nights with dreams of justice. Make me a vessel for the turning of the tide. Lléname de bendita inquietud y mis sueños de la justicia. Seré un barco para el cambio de la marea. Fill my days with blessed unrest, and my nights with dreams of justice. Make me a vessel for the turning of the tide. Lléname de bendita inquietud y mis sueños de la justicia. Seré un barco para el cambio de la marea. Fill my days with blessed unrest, and my nights with dreams of justice. Make me a vessel for the turning of the tide. Lléname de bendita inquietud y mis sueños de la justicia. Seré un barco para el cambio de la marea.
There is a love holding you. There's a love holding all that you love. There is a love holding all. You rest in this love. We rest in this love. When I first heard those precious words of comfort and strength, I never imagined that they would become a mantra, an anthem for the last 12 months as we lived through a pandemic. When we sang those words for the very first time in early March 2020, we didn't know that we were singing them in what would be the last in-person Sunday service in our Alluvial Avenue sanctuary. We never imagined that the following Sunday we would be singing them together virtually on our first Sunday service live streamed on our congregation's Facebook page, a Facebook page that some of us struggled to find, a Facebook page that some of us still have never seen because the technology is too daunting or alienating. 1 year ago, we shuttered our beloved Alluvial Avenue campus and opened our new virtual church campus, a brand new spiritual world of connection, community, and love. It was not what we wanted to do. It was what we had to do. Connecting through screens was our only way forward. As Unitarian Universalists, we follow the science and prioritize and protect the most vulnerable. We filled our new virtual campus with Zoom yoga classes, Buddhist meditation, spiritual drop-in groups, poetry explorations, a faith and film series, a workshop on forgiveness, religious exploration for the kiddos, a pride dance party, PJ Saturday, Reverend Tim's Sunday socks, an exciting virtual auction, the launch of our annual pledge drive, caring circles and pastoral care outreach, and so much more. At the same time, we worked in occasional safe, in-person, masked, socially distant events like our monthly food distribution at Balderas Elementary School, a taco truck fest, drive-up water communion, landscaping cleanup days, the summer reading program book pickup, and monthly in-person religious explorations for children and youth. And every Sunday morning, here, together, we filled this virtual sanctuary with vibrant Sunday services, allowing us to enter into the homes of not just church members and friends, but into the lives of new, like-minded spiritual folks who found us after the pandemic began. They are falling in love with Unitarian Universalism's inclusive message of joy and justice a message brought by our passionate Sunday service leaders and our many musicians, talented beyond telling. And as they fell in love with us, we fell in love with them. Our Sunday services feature video and sound editing by an extraordinary volunteer, Jeremiah. If you want to send Jeremiah some appreciation, type the letter J in the comment box. There's the music, arranged and directed by Lorenzo, and Times for All Ages with the effervescent Danny. Over the course of the last year, all of this collectively served to remind us that there is a love holding us. There is a love holding all that we love. There is a love holding all. We rest in this love. Would you be willing to say those words with me this morning? Would you be willing to speak this shared, deep spiritual truth? If so, just repeat after me. There is a love holding us. There is a love holding us. There is a love holding all that we love. There is a love holding all that we love. There is a love holding all. There is a love holding all. We rest in this love. We rest in this love. This has been a hard year. We lost so many beloveds. Patrick, Jerry, Betty R., Bill, Gray, Sue, April, Karen, Neil, Pat, Joe, Betty Ann, and most recently, Bernadette. If you would like to honor these lives, type the letter H for honor in the comment box. We now begin a year of marking the first anniversaries of these losses. Too much loss. Some of our family members, friends, and acquaintances perished in the pandemic. Some of us had family members test positive. Some became quite ill. This has been a hard year. Beginning with the police slaughter of Breonna Taylor in the first days of the pandemic, we saw continued assaults on unarmed Black bodies by law enforcement officers. Assaults that in June exploded into a countrywide racial reckoning, 400 years in the making. As a church community, we joined this uprising against white primacy culture, hosting multiple Friday night vigils supporting the Black Lives Matter movement. Hundreds of people came to our Black Lives Matter banners, one evening even stretching out half a mile along Alluvial Ave from the corner of Chestnut to the corner of Willow. And it was then, just 3 months into the pandemic, that new words of blessed unrest became another anthem for our congregation, another mantra for the moment. We shall be known by the company we keep, by the ones who circle round to tend these fires. We shall be known by the ones who sow and reap the seeds of change, alive from deep within the earth. It is time now. It is time now that we thrive. It is time we lead ourselves into the well. It is time, and what a time to be alive. In this great turning, we shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning, we shall learn to lead in love. If these words resonate with you in any way, type the letters LLL in the comment box for Learn to Lead in Love. These words, that song, root us as a church community to this present moment, ripe with the opportunity for social, economic, environmental, and policing policy change. In this great turning our country is experiencing, there are hints of a new morning dawning. As Native American poet Joy Harjo proclaims, this dawn is rearranging the earth. In a poem entitled A House Called Tomorrow, Alberto Rios writes, "What we bring finally into the new day, every day, is ourselves. And that's all we need to start. That's everything we require to keep going. Go forward into the history you will make." I think of words that Unitarian Universalist minister, the Reverend Wayne Arneson, wrote decades ago, never imagining that one day they would speak to us anew amidst a pandemic. Take courage, friends. The way is often hard. The path is never clear, and the stakes are very high. Take courage, for deep down there is another truth. You are not alone. We are not alone. We know this because we feel it here, within us, among us, and yes, beyond us. That is why, without hesitation, I can look you straight in the eyes and say, there is a love holding you. There is a love holding all that you love. There is a love holding all. You rest in this love. We rest in this love. May it be so. Blessed be. Amen.
Oh, I am waking up to find my world between the dying and being reborn. I see what is and I see what could be. Can't close my eyes again and go back to sleep. Fill my days with blessed unrest and my nights with dreams of justice. Make me a vessel for the turning of the tide. How can I change our course? Just a lonely voice. Wish I could lose myself in all the noise. But if we all would rise, a generation proud with a mighty song, we could turn this world around. So fill my days with blessed unrest and my nights with dreams of justice. Make me a vessel for the turning of the tide. Fill my days with blessed unrest and my nights with dreams of justice. Make me a vessel for the turning of the tide. Ancestors all behind and before me every child, I bring the power of a long unbroken line. So when our time is through, I want to know, did what we came to do for the future ones? So in our saddest day, may we all be strong and give our lives so light. May go on. Fill my
Hi, Troy.
Hey, Karen.
Welcome back to the Polnitz home.
On the second Sunday of each month, we hold a special offering for a social justice group, organization, or individual that is in alignment with our Unitarian Universalist values.
This Sunday, we are pleased to welcome our friend from the LGBTQ+ Resource Center, Fresno Equal Opportunities Commission. They will share briefly about their important work in Fresno.
Hello, friends of the community. My name is Emily McKay Johnson, and I'm the Outreach Coordinator for the Fresno EOC LGBTQ+ Resource Center. I'm grateful for this opportunity to present to your church service today. The last center providing services to the LGBTQ community in Fresno closed its doors in 2017, and for 2 years our region was without a central hub to provide access to services. Fresno Economic Opportunities Commission collectively agreed that Fresno was in need of a new center to accommodate the many needs of folks on the queer spectrum in Fresno County. Our resource center was thus established in the spring of 2019 with Jen Cruz at the helm as the program manager. We went from 1 to 2 of us that year, and over the course of the pandemic, we have been fortunate enough to grow into a team of 6. Empowering our community with access to tools they need to thrive is one of our many goals. We offer a variety of resources for LGBTQ identified people in our region, such as support groups for youth, adult, trans, and gender nonconforming folks, and the recent addition of Disabled and Fabulous for our differently abled community. All these services were available at our center downtown, but due to COVID-19 and the complications of gathering in person, we have been operating virtually since March of last year. It is without a doubt that people in the Central Valley who identify as LGBTQ are in need of equitable access to resources and opportunities made available to them with the confidence they will be accepted, regardless of who they love or how they identify. We are here to help increase outreach to other organizations, businesses, and community leaders such as yourselves in order for this goal to be achieved. Your contribution will allow us to work on addressing a variety of concerns such as substance use disorder within the LGBTQ community, increasing access to medical and mental health services for trans folks, providing Know Your Rights training, and more. We have been able to successfully provide over $4,000 to community members who have been disproportionately affected by COVID-19 through our Queer COVID Care program. With this money, we have been able to provide rental assistance, cover outstanding cell phone bills, and a variety of other pertinent needs. We are appreciative of any and all donations, and though we can't meet you in person right now, we hope that you'll follow us online and keep up to date on our progress. Thank you again for providing a safe space for LGBTQ folks in your fellowship.
If you would like to help support the work of the LGBTQ+ Resource Center, Fresno Equal Opportunities Commission, there are several ways you can make your offering, including
Cash App, PayPal, credit card, text, or sending a check in the mail.
A slide will appear with all the information in just a moment. But first, in the spirit of grateful generosity, will you join us in saying our words of offering? If not us, then who? If not open hearts, then what? If not now, then when? If not here, then where? If not generously, then how? If not us, then who? The morning offering will now be gratefully received. Thank you for saying yes.
Howdy, friends. I'm Danny, and I'm back with a reveal of Reverend Tim Sunday Socks. Now, this week, Reverend Tim Sunday Socks anticipated the almost here arrival of spring. The congregation picked between 1, bicycle trail socks, 2, perennial picnic visitor socks, and 3, campfire s'more socks. And the winner was number 1, bicycle trail bicycles. Okay, a few reminders for you, friends. Join us in person in front of our beautiful alluvial gardens for our annual Easter service on Sunday, April 4th. This will be our very first hybrid service on Zoom and in person, and it'll be live streamed on our social media as well. Registration for in-person worship is required, and you can access that link in the comments below, or you can email me if you have questions. But make sure that you reserve your seats ASAP. Spring Fling Fun Field Day is March 20th, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m., and I promise it'll be more fun to play than it is to say. So join us on campus for some socially distanced fun. We will play games, laugh, and even compete in potato sack races, noodle javelin, and I hear there might be catapults. So households of all ages are welcome, but we do request that children register. And again, I'm going to drop that link in the comments below. Right after the Spring Fling Fun Field Day, we will have in-person spiritual reflection for adults. So you can join me around the fire pit and we will talk about the subject beloved community.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Polnitz household. I am Troy.
Y soy Karen. We are so grateful to be here with you and to have shared space with you all today to engage in this meaningful service.
Yes, what an amazing day it has been. And for me, it really just emphasizes how important it is for all of us to stay connected through this pandemic. I won't lie, the vaccine has me looking towards the light at the end of the tunnel, where we'll eventually find ourselves back in physical space.
Yes, that light is getting brighter. That connection you mentioned is so important. And these services always symbolize why that spiritual connection is so vital for all of us. It really serves as motivation to keep us going and moving forward with grace.
Thank you to the UU team who keep these virtual services so amazing. And thank you to everyone in attendance this morning. We love you. As we prepare to end our service and enter into the afternoon, please join us in our chalice extinguishing words. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts. Extinguimos esta llama, pero no la luz de la verdad, el calor de comunidad, o el fuego de nuestro compromiso. Estos los llevaremos en el corazón. Thank you for joining us this morning, and we hope to see you all next week. Bye.
Adios.
Have a good one.
Muchas gracias, Karen and Troy. Thank you very much for your loving presence throughout our services in this last year. We've come to the end of this service, this anniversary service, and our closing words will be those of Wayne Arneson. Let's take our hands and place them on our hearts. Take courage, friends. The way is often hard, the path is never clear, and the stakes are very high. Take courage. Deep down there is another truth. You are not alone. We are not alone. May it be so. Blessed be. Amen.
Go from here in peace, go with love. Go from here in peace, go with love. Go from here in peace, go with love. In love, go in peace. Shalom and assalamu alaikum.
We shall be known by the company we keep, by the ones who circle round to tend these fires. We shall be